Hey, Jonathan here, and we just got a great question from Angie Sherman. She was in the Give It Challenge. She's an awesome chick, and she's in our Parkour Academy, and this is where she asked the question. And usually we don't put these videos out on YouTube, but for this one I thought it was a really good question, and it was a great one to throw on YouTube as well. And her question was how to go from the punch motion, the punch takeoff in a Kong vault, and how to go from that into a stride takeoff where you're going off one leg. It's like a two-step motion. So it's a great question because with the Kong vault, for most of us it's easier, and this is how we teach it, is to go off of a punch into the vault to start off with, because it's easier to get the motion down. But as we advance, we want to go into the stride takeoff, because this is going to give us more speed, it's going to give us more power, and it's going to give us a way better Kong vault. So if you get this motion down, you get this stride motion down, you're going to be able to Kong a lot further, a lot faster, and it's going to be a lot more fluid. So you definitely want to transition into this motion when you can. So the first motion that we did with the Kong was the punch. So it looked like this. Very simple. It's a good way to start off because we want to develop that motion. But now we're going to go into the stride takeoff. And so instead of punching, we're going to be striding into it. We're going to get a nice long stride here and dive into the Kong. This is what's going to get us further and keep our rhythm going, because when we stop and we punch, we're actually taking away some of our speed. And when we don't punch and we stride like this, it enables us to keep the speed going, get more power. So the first thing that I want you to do, well actually let me show you what it looks like first. Here. So that's what we want to transition into. And the best way to build into this is just by doing simple progression steps. Like with the regular Kong, when we're doing the punch, we start off by just standing and jumping up onto it. So that's what we're going to do with this motion, because we're going to be lifting one leg at a time just to get used to that split leg motion. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw our back leg. I like to use my right because I'm going to take off my left. I'm going to throw it back, and what this is going to do is going to enable me to get my hips up really high before I drive my knees down. So we'll start here, throw this leg back as we pull our chest up and angle our body down. So we'll do this a few times, get used to that motion. And we'll have our hands planted on the vault box. And this one's pretty wide, so that's why I'm going on top. If it's shorter and you feel comfortable clearing, go ahead and clear. And as you can see, it's just a motion of throwing this leg up as we jump off this leg, and we're going to bring our hips up, and then once we reach our height, we're going to drive our knees down and into the vault while we push off with our hands. So now that you have the motion down on a stationary position, we're going to go into walking. So we're going to walk into it. Now this is really important because this is where we're going to time our steps, because the timing of the feet is really crucial for this move, because if you don't do it right, you're going to stutter before you get to it and you're going to kill all your momentum. So walk into. And notice I'm kind of diving out, kind of far back. This is another advanced technique as we get better with the Kong, is we're going to dive more into the vault. What this does is keeps our speed going and actually gives us more power when we drill our legs and knees through the vault. So we'll do a few of just walking into it. Notice on that one I pretty much cleared. You get a lot more power with this technique. Once you have it down walking, then it's just speeding up, so it's a gradual progression. and then you go into running. Now if going on top is too much at first, no problem, because all we're going to do is just scale it down a little bit, and we're going to put our hands on top of the box, shoulder width apart. We're going to lift the leg up, but not go on top of the box. We're just going to work on that motion of getting our hips up by tossing that back leg up and jumping off the front leg. So we'll just do that. This is just to get you comfortable with this motion. Now we're going to do another progression, and for me, I always had problems switching from that punch to a stride. It felt really awkward at first, and one of the things that helped me was to just slowly transition into that. So what we're going to do is start from a punch and then slowly split our legs a little bit further each time until we get into that hurdle position. So we'll start off, and I'm just going to go really slow and just go on top of the box. So we'll start by punching. Then we're going to split our legs just a little bit. We'll go a little bit further. Until we get down the actual hurdle step. Now also remember, with the arms play a big part in this transition. You're going to be performing more of a diving motion as you go out into the Kong. So your arms are going to be here. You're going to generate power by swinging them forward. So it'll be here. And then kicking into it. So those are some great ways to build into that advanced Kong motion where you're going to do the split leg. So remember that when you're first starting out, it's perfectly fine to do the punch, and it's easier for most people. But as we progress, we want to get into that split leg hurdle step takeoff into the Kong vault, because we need a lot more power and a lot more speed. So take some of those progressions that we went over today and start doing them outside right now. Go out and just start doing the walking motion and just slowly progress into that stride takeoff with the Kong vault. And again, thanks Angie for asking that wonderful question, and I'll see you in the Academy. And if any of you guys want to check out our Parkour Academy where we answer people's questions and things like that, you can click the link in the description and it'll tell you all about it. Anyway, thanks for subscribing, thanks for being on our YouTube channel, and I'll talk to you soon.